Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, providing you an update on the Fantom ecosystem. This is one I got in around the back end of August, just around the time when the incentive program was announced. 370 million FTM in rewards coming to this ecosystem, with which I theorized there will be a lot of interest in this ecosystem. And that's really starting to happen. It's starting to take shape. A lot of projects now coming to the Fantom network, some good, some probably moving just for the money grab. So things to be aware of. We're going to go through quite a bit in this video, so could be a little bit of a long one. Timestamps will be included down below. If you don't know how to set up your Fantom wallet on MetaMask, then check out the video you can see on screen there. There's quite a few videos on my channel regarding this. But with that said, let's jump into the video. And just a reminder, subscribe to the channel if you're new and make sure you turn on those post notifications. As I'm sure you know, crypto moves 100 miles an hour. So this is the Fantom chart. Since pretty much the time period I started to look at this one, price roughly at around 50, 60 cents. It started to move up quite steeply here. We had a nice bit of volume coming in with the incentive program being announced, and it's gone pretty much from strength to strength. So anytime over the last month, you're probably likely to have got a 2x on your FTM at this point, which is a nice return on investment, but I'm sure it can go quite a bit higher. But if we do actually go back to max here, you need to be aware of the fact that many people who have been in this one for a long time, so OGs back early part of this year, February, January, got in at pennies and we're now at dollars. So at some point, there may be some sharp profit taken. These might be at these key and significant areas that we're seeing here. Big sell-off here, big sell-off here, maybe a bit of a sell-off here. So just to be aware, you are buying the bags of people who got in a lot sooner than you. However, when we look at the overall landscape here, rank 35th for a layer 1 protocol is pretty far out considering the amount of development going on and also mindshare coming to this one. And that's something we'll highlight in this video. There's a lot of good developers coming and building on Fantom due to those ecosystem rewards as well. So current price around $2 is where you could pick this one up. Let's just check it out versus other chains here, because it recently hit number 5 for all blockchains in terms of TVL, just surpassing Avalanche in 6. They're just literally a hairbreadth away here. Not much difference. This could actually change at any moment with one whale moving some funds from one chain to the other. Now we see these movements between the rankings here due to the fact there's so many good bridges right now that if you've got a lot of money, you can easily transfer your coins from, say, AVAX to BSC to Solana, Fantom, all these different chains. They're easy to get about now. So you do see TVL moving from one place to the other. The whales are having a good time with all the incentive programs currently being rolled out. So be aware of that. The TVL can go up and down quite significantly. So this is the kind of volatility you need to be aware of in any of these ecosystems. And we'll have a look at some of the ecosystem plays in just a second, and you'll see what I'm talking about with volatility. Because if you're new to crypto, you need to be aware things can go up 30, 40% in a day and then crash the same amount in the next day. So you need to be aware that pain does occur quite often in these markets, but you need to just write it out and have a thesis behind what you invest in. So Fantom currently has 39 protocols built out, and this is growing quite substantially at the moment. FTM alerts on YouTube, well worth giving him a follow. He's been doing loads of interviews with upcoming projects. So this number will grow, and in turn, the TVL should also grow as well. If we just click into the Fantom ecosystem, you will see that we have a fairly new addition, as there's no 7-day change here due to the fact these guys have launched within the last 7 days. So this is Geist Finance. This again will be a subject of today's video, and they've already locked $3 billion worth of value into their protocol. So no mean feat there. All of these are pretty high now. You had to have over $100 million in TVL to get some of the Fantom incentives. So quite a few of these have achieved this so far. When we first covered this back at the end of August, start of September, many of these had $5 or $10 million TVL only. So come a long way in a very short period of time. But that is how quick the crypto markets move. So here is the ecosystem as an overall. Of course, Fantom sitting pretty at the top with the biggest market cap, as you'd expect. Next up here, we have Popsicle Finance, the ICE token. I have some exposure to this one. As you'll see, it's been going up like a rocket. This is one of the developers, Danny Siesta or Sesta. I'm not sure exactly how to say his name. This guy's literally being like Midas with the gold touch right now. Time, Ice, Mim, Spell, all his tokens have been absolutely mooning. But when you have a moon mission and people are buying literally a vertical chart, of course you're going to get these pullbacks. So do be aware, if you're buying anything that's gone up a huge percentage like this and this, you can get this as a result on any given day, a healthy 23% pullback. So you don't want to be foaming back out saying, oh Christ, there's something else going up in this ecosystem. I need to move my funds from Spirit to Spooky because clearly this DEX is doing better today. That's not the way to play this. You need to invest and have conviction in what you invest in and just wait out the volatility. All the charts in crypto literally go like this, but they are trending generally to the top right-hand corner. So given time, you typically make quite a bit of money. But what we do see here is kind of the top guard, top 1, 2, 3, 4 projects here. Beefy's kind of on most chains at this point, but these two are pretty much native to the Fantom ecosystem. Popsicle is everywhere as well, but it's been on here for quite some time. But most of these now have got some established user bases, they've got network effects, and they've got a lot to do on their specific platforms, which means you don't get a huge turnover in the number of users. People are happy to stay in this ecosystem. And as we've seen, there's been more and more projects growing on here. It does mean people are less likely to leave. You get the whales moving their funds about like anybody's business, but for the average investor, you can enter the Fantom ecosystem and you could take out loans, you could deposit funds and earn interest from other people taking out a loan on your coins. You know, a typical borrow lend market. We've also got the ability to put our funds into yield optimizers if you want a liquidity provide, or there's various ways to stake your cryptocurrencies. So this ecosystem's definitely been growing as of late. Some of the ones to highlight here, Taro has been doing quite a lot. Market cap $20 million. Again, this is a decentralized lending pool and they have quite a lot of incentives on there. Similarly, Scream does a similar thing as well. 15 million market cap only, up 23% in the last 24 hours. Again, borrow lend markets, similar to the likes of Aave, and this one also has incentivized programs. So if you deposit your funds, you're going to receive some APY not only in the coin you deposit, but also in the Scream token as well. So there's plenty of opportunity to earn on these right now. And with the Fantom incentives programs, this is likely to increase going forward. So healthy APYs can be received. Now, if we go over to this one, this is Geist Finance, and this is a recent addition to the ecosystem. I'm going to refresh just to see if it's gone down a little bit more. Currently at $2.88. So if we do max here, you can see where we lie with this one. So this one only came out, I think it was on the 6th of October. And so the price chart doesn't look very healthy right now, but this is due to the fact the APYs on this, you can stake it, you can LP for it. The APYs that they're giving out in the actual Geist token are huge. Now, ironically enough, Geist, which sounds like ghost or means ghost, is a copy or a fork of Aave. Aave is Finnish, I believe, for the word ghost as well. So literally Aave were taking their time, dragging their heels, coming over to the Fantom ecosystem. So some people have decided to create Aave on Fantom, which is very good as this is one of the main money Legos. We're seeing the likes of Scream also do this kind of thing, but they haven't attracted huge TVL. So what you need is one of these core borrow lend protocols with huge liquidity to ensure people can get in and out of the ecosystems. They can come and deposit huge amounts of funds and not have to dump their tokens. So a lot of people own a lot of Fantom. You don't want people just dumping the FTM token on your head just because they've made a lot of gains. So something like this, where people with big bankrolls can come and deposit their Fantom and earn a nice APY in the token itself, plus get those incentivized rewards from the Geist token. This is just going to mean they're not incentivized to dump FTM. They can earn a yield from it, and they're probably happy with that. Now, the Geist token here has locked up a lot of value, as you can see from the numbers up here, but the Geist token price has been going down. If you were to borrow some Fantom coins, you're going to have to pay 34% APY. However, they're going to give you almost 60% in the Geist token. So this would be, if everything stays the same, if the current prices were to stay the same, you would effectively be paid to actually borrow the FTM token, as the Geist amount would outweigh the cost here. So they're doing a lot of incentives here, and this is attracting significant TVL. A lot of people who are into their yield farming have aped into here in a big way. So what is Geist's aim? What does it do? How does the token work? Well, it says it's a lending and borrowing market on Fantom based on one of the largest DeFi protocols, Aave. Essentially, this is a fork of Aave, and then they forked the staking model of Ellipsis Finance on BSC. What makes them stand out here, they say Geist protocol has no governance and no VCs, and instead features a revenue sharing token where platform fees go to token holders and LPs. So this one, if it can sustain itself and gain a lot of traction over time, could be a good token to hold. But at this moment in time, the rewards are just meaning a lot of downward pressure on the token price. There's more sellers than there are buyers. So utility-wise, Geist, no governance or ownership, no protocol treasury, 50% of revenue generated through borrowing is distributed directly to those who stake their Geist. However, Geist liquidity mining employs a mechanic first introduced by Ellipsis Finance on BSC, so the rewards are actually vested for 3 months, but you can claim them immediately and then take a 50% haircut on that. So I think a lot of people are doing this. The farming rewards are so high, which I'll show you in a second, that they may as well take the 50% haircut and just dump the token to take as much profit out as possible. Then on the flip side, we have other individuals who may decide, well, if we look at this part, the penalty is then distributed to users who choose to lock Geist for 3 months. The mechanism ensures steady rewards for those who actively commit to the protocol by locking their tokens. So normal investors like retail folk may decide that sounds like a pretty fair deal, especially if these big whales want to start dumping their tokens at a 50% penalty. We can make up a nice higher APY due to the fact those are distributed to us, which does make sense in a way. But if you're doing this, I think you're going to have to bag hold this token for quite some time, as typically the inflation that's going on here will mean the token price tanks for quite some time until it finds a bottom. And once the inflation starts to level back out again and the actual rewards from the ecosystem that are being distributed start to pick up, essentially it's going to take some time for the token to recover. That's just my opinion, how these kind of things have played out in the past. Token economics, as you can see, 40% given to incentives, 20% in incentives to the Geist FTM liquidity providers specifically, 20% for airdrops and for other community rewards, and 20% to the team on a linear basis. Now, the team behind this have been approved by the Fantom Foundation, which is very good stuff. Some speculation that this is a very wealthy investor and a consortium of his friends and whales who have got behind this one, hence the huge TVL so far. Clearly there's whales behind this, otherwise you can't lock up like billions of dollars in just under 1 week. That's pretty crazy stuff, even by crypto standards. My head's a little bit in the way here, but if you go to the staking contract here, you can stake Geist, and the APY currently on screen is showing me as 4,320%. So this is why it's massively inflating. The amount of tokens being released into the ecosystem on a daily basis, I think, is around 1 million per day. So of course, the token price is going to keep falling down. So unless you've got in early or you're willing to sacrifice the fact you think this is going to continue going down, but maybe you decide, I'm sure I can just keep selling daily until I get my break-even level. So I would consider only farming this one. So for example, depositing my Fantom and getting those APR rewards through this means, rather than buying up the token and then being dumped on by people who are in a lot earlier than you. So that's the kind of reason this is dumped so far. But the survival of this marketplace and the growth of this marketplace essentially taking over the mantle from Aave. Aave were dragging their heels, so these guys have stepped in. This can mean a lot of money Legos get built out onto this ecosystem when you have a big bank running the show here. Now, another handy site to look at is Uni Whales, and on this one you can see all the bridge information. And this has been good to track recently due to the fact that whales are literally moving their funds from layer 1 to layer 1 like nobody's business right now. But overall, you can get some good stats from here. So currently on Fantom, 4.9 billion worth has been deposited, and only 1.4 billions worth of tokens have been withdrawn. So that is a net surplus of around $3.5 billion. This means the ecosystem should be growing. The actual date that Geist went live was, no surprise, the 6th, I believe, here. And so this is when we've seen an absolute huge increase in the amount of deposits in USD value to the Fantom ecosystem. On the 7th, the deposit was $2.2 billion from ETH via that AnySwap bridge. So absolutely incredible stuff. Generally, if we look to the right hand side, the withdrawals have also been quite big, getting a bit bigger due to the fact when you get a lot of money coming in, you're going to get a lot of money coming out as well. Nothing too concerning for this. Generally, things are going up, number go up in crypto if you've got good products. But this is a good website to just track the behavior of individuals and whales. So for example, Fantom Whales down here, this address has deposited $1.3 billion and only withdrawn 200 million. So a net surplus of $1.5 billion. So just come and check out the stats on here. Very interesting to see. And you can kind of track if there's a big like outflow from Fantom, typically you can see go onto like Avalanche, go onto the bridge tracker, and then see if the funds have moved over here. So a good tool to have in your toolbox is Uni Whales. Now I wanted to do a bit of a catch up on SpookySwap as well. As I've previously covered, got some BOO staking. You get the XBOO token as a receipt token. You will still get some of the swapping rewards as a share of revenue from staking that BOO. But then with the XBOO, you can come and then put it to work in one of these pools. Currently, I've got mine in the Fantom pool, which has been very nice, getting some free Fantom tokens. So nicely incentivized this one, but there's more coming. We've also got the likes of Woo on here and some other tokens you may have heard of. You can even earn in stablecoins, which is pretty nice if you want nice passive income in dollars. But this was the update just the other day. Magic Internet Money, so Daniel Siesta, his project, Mim and Spell, they're actually coming over to Fantom in a big way. They're already here. But this is a way to get this on the SpookySwap DEX. Stake XBOO to earn Spell. So this is a vote on governance right now. If you want this to go live and you own some Fantom, you can come and vote for this. I think it's pretty much unanimous that everyone wants this. SpookySwap welcoming the Spell community to partner with some staking here. TLDR here, total tokens, 4.5 million Spell over a 60-day period starting from the 12th of October at 4 p.m. UTC, so later tonight, until the 11th of December. Token rewards per second, 0.86 Spell. So I think this one's going to definitely pass. And as we know, Danielle has a lot of core following now, so this will mean people potentially coming and buying some spooky tokens just to stake them and earn Spell. So buy BOO, earn Spell, or maybe they will try and buy up some more Fantom to farm the Spell FTM pool to earn BOO. Who knows? There's a few ways that this could be played out here, but in general, we're seeing the mindshare of good devs here come over and work with the Fantom ecosystem. So this is certainly bullish. Spooky's general trajectory has been up, liquidity up, generally the volume going up as well, which has been very nice. Now, a dark horse in the race here is Inspirit. This is another decentralized exchange, but with a bit more focus on their actual token here. This one you can lock up Spirit and get Inspirit. So this is done on a gauge basis. So you have to lock it up for a set period of time. So do go and check that out if you're interested in adding those. I'm just going to go back here and show you that these guys have already partnered with the likes of Danielle again. So if we just scroll down, you can see we have incentive pools for MIM, the Magic Internet Money, to FTM, and also Spell to the Fantom USDT. So a combined like $22 million worth of liquidity locked in these, as we're seeing some people with bags of these select cryptos from Danielle's crew are now over in the Fantom ecosystem. So Spirit Swap has been performing well, but of course has had a bit of a haircut today, down 22%. This is the volatility that you play with. Over the last 30 days though, this has been going up like a rocket ever since pretty much Danielle tweeted this. Full disclosure, I have a sizable bag of Spirit and I like to be right. That was on the 30th of September and literally it's gone from 14 cents up to 42. So pretty big price rise since this guy's been backing it. He's also suggested he wants to actually buy out the Spirit team or get them under his belt. So very bullish sentiment there in general from Danielle. Of course, you need to just follow people who are super, super hot right now. He's going to have some more projects coming out, and I'm sure everyone will be aping into those because once you make people a large sum of money, they want to follow you. He's now pretty much got like a cult-like status. Additional to the Fantom ecosystem, we have Artion, the NFT Marketplace. I've had a little look through this. This one has 0 platform fees, which is very nice. If we just go on here, there's kind of some good artwork and some not so good artwork, quite a lot of copies of things that we've seen on other chains here. But in general, if this does start to really pick up, it's going to mean a lot more demand for the FTM token, which can be only a good thing for holders and users of this general ecosystem. So I did want to highlight this, as we've seen on other networks. Once their NFT collections start to pick up, then you do get a good appreciation in the underlying token values. Whether or not we see continued NFT season as the market picks back up again, who actually knows? But good to keep tabs on things over here. Not overly enthused by this as yet, but we'll keep tabs on it. We'll see how it continues to update and the collections that come out here. So what do we know? 370 million FTM have been incentivized, and this is starting to roll out very soon. This was announced on the 30th of August, and it was literally a 2-month cliff that is enabled for successful applicants. So these Fantom incentives are coming in a big way over the coming month and months, plural, due to the fact this vests over a 12-month period. So a lot of rewards come into this ecosystem, a lot more eyeballs. In general, crypto is going to pick up with a lot more newbies entering the space, and I think Fantom can be a net beneficiary of this uptick in demand here. So the Fantom ecosystem looks like it is picking up quite nicely. And even though you may not be early at this stage, there's still going to be quite a lot of gains to come. So I think this isn't a bad place to park some funds. Of course, not financial advice, but that is what I have done so far. And I will be broadening my horizons. I'm kind of a picks and shovels play kind of guy. And I like to pick up on the fact that there's going to be a lot of people coming into this ecosystem. So owning good shares in both SpookySwap and Spirit makes a lot of sense to me. We're also seeing very active and godlike developers like Danielle right now moving over to the Fantom ecosystem to help build out products, which is definitely a good thing and will inspire confidence in whales and DeFi degens to come over to Fantom. So I think the money flows will continue, and there are some good times still ahead for this ecosystem in general. My only word of warning on this is that we may get some nefarious actors trying to take advantage of the Fantom incentives and just building or putting together projects rather quickly to try and gain some of that liquidity and take advantage of the hype. So in general, I would do a lot of research into what you invest in and make sure they are approved by the Fantom Foundation and are more of the OG projects that have been around for quite some time. But with that being said, that is all for today's video, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop me a comment down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.